Hi, it's Melissa with My Membership Minute on Tuesday, June the 30th, 2015. Here's what's new and hot in your membership community this week. Yesterday, Tim and I posted 11 new videos to your membership community. These are some of the most frequently asked questions that I've been getting about the connective tissue practices that are mostly found in the postures and pranayama section, although there's a whole playlist of connective tissue practices in the community playlist section that you can find as well. So let me show you where the new videos are. If you scroll down to the postures and pranayama section right underneath the daily practice section, they're in their own section, and you can click here. And I've answered, I hope, mostly all the questions that have been coming up quite frequently. This is the question that I get the most about what the props are and where I can get them. So here are all the links to where you can get the props, and I show all the props and how to use them in this video. So that was a really big question. Another thing that I go over a lot is water intake. So this is a video about the importance of taking in water when you're doing this, why it's important, and how to stay hydrated when you're doing these practices. And then there's just a lot of other great videos in here. I am going to be posting 2 playlists as well, because the first comment that came up, and I've got them all ready to go, I just haven't had a chance to post them yet. The first comment that came up was in relation to the post here about if you've been diagnosed with a systemic condition, disorder, or disease, if you're on medications. There's some really important guidelines here. And I actually have a whole playlist of how to introduce these practices if that applies to you, and I'll be posting that today as well. And I will post it right in the FAQ section. I'll also post a duplicate in the community playlist section, so I'll show you where the community playlist section is as well. If you scroll down past the long and short videos to the community playlists, then you can see here, for example, Alice started this thread where she put together all the classes, and there's been a lot of responses to it, so you have to click on the last page and scroll all the way down. But she's clicked on she's put all the classes here, because there were even some weekly challenges that I put some connective tissue practices in. And I'll go through and I'll update this so that the FAQs are listed here as well, because this disclaimer, or this thread has now been updated with a new thread that I put together for people who have chronic health issues. Okay, so that covers off that. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is that if you missed our motivation meetup on this past weekend, that I've posted the recordings for that, and the recordings are here under the motivation meetup thread. Right here, the June 2015 Motivation Meetup recordings. So there were 2 separate ones. The first one, they're quite different. The first one actually, there's a lot of talk about the buddies in them and how the buddy systems work. And the first one, because it just turned out that the buddies that were supposed to be there weren't able to come for various reasons. And so it ended up being me talking about my buddy. And it ended up getting into a long discussion about my taking a day of silence. My buddy actually supports me in that. So there's a long discussion about taking a day of silence in the first one. The second one, there is a huge discussion about buddies, and we had interviewed we had 3 scheduled interviews, but then it also turned out that there were 3 people on the call that also had buddies, and they spoke also about their buddies. So that's a really interesting one in the second one. And then also Eva, who was one of the people that couldn't be on the first call, she sent in a video to talk about her buddy. So that's a really beautiful video to watch. I've got the show notes here below about what's covered in the motivation meetup as well. So I'd love to hear from you now. I'd love to know what you learned from the FAQ videos that I put together, and also from the motivation meetup. which video was most helpful to you and why. So leave that in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to another great week. Namaste.